Shambam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Asya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achutim Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedesha Durlabam Adurlabam Adma Bhaktao Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastakoti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayoratapi Manasomani Pungavanam Sopyasyadva Padasinya Vachincha Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Saurachayatam Jagadanda Kotim Yat Shaktirasti Jagadanda Chayayadantaha Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhava Tadiyoma Najasta Taiva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasha Nayana Bhushaha Suktairyameva Nigama Pratavaisthavanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitamis Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabihi Goloka Eva Nidvisatya Kilatma Bhoto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Virochanena Santak Sadaiva Hridayesya Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achincha Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murtusha Kalani Amena Tishtan Nana Bratara Makarod Bhuvaneshu Kinto Krishnak Swayam Sabhavavak Paramak Pamanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yes, Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Koti Svashesha Vasudhari Viduti Binnam Tad Brahma Niskalamanantam Ashesha Bhuttam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Hiyasya Jagadanda Satani Sute Traigunya Tadvashaya Veda Vitayamana Satvavalambi Parasatvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Nanda Chinmaya Rasamataya Manakso Yat Praninam Paliparam Smaratamopetya Leela Yatenu Bhuvanani Jagatya Jasram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanamni Nijatamni Talecha Tasya Devi Maheshu Haridamasu Teshu Te Prabhava Nityayabi Tashayena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shristi Stati Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga Ichchana Rupam Apayasya Tatesta Tesa Govindamadi Purusham Kshiram Yatadidhi Vikara Vishesha Yogat Sanjayate Pritagasti Hetaho Yakshambut Pitatasam Upaiti Karyad Govindamadi Purusham Departure Abrahita Shamtanam Abhyupetya Deep Vishnu Vishnu Taya Vibhati Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yat Karanarna Bhajale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidramaranda Jagadanda Saroma Kuppaha Adara Sakti Bhavalamya Param Swamurtim Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasyaika Nisvrititakanam Atavalambya Jivanti Loma Vinaja Jagadandanata Vishnur Mahansi Hayasya Kalabhishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Basvanya Tankshma Sakaleshu Najesha Tejaha Sriyam Kayat Prakadiyat Vritadvadatra Brahmaya Esha Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yat pada pallava yugam vinidhaya kumbha dvandve pranama samaye sakanadi rajaha vinghan vinhantam adavjacha karyastrayasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami angi bhi ambamarudashascha kalastatadma manasita jagatrayani yasmad bhavanti vibhavanti vishanti yangcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yat Chakshir Esa Savita Sakala Rahanam Raja Samastra Suramurti Tesha Tejaha Yasyagya Yabramiti Sambrita Kana Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dharmo Tapapa Shinityastrutayasta Pangsi Brahmadi Kita Patagava Dayascha Jivaha Yadatramak Vikata Prakata Prabhava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yas Twinda Gopa Matavendra Mahosva Karma Bandada Rupa Padabhajanam Atunoti Karmani Nirda Hita Kintu Chabakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yam Kroda Kamaha Cha Pranayadi Biti Vatsalya Moha Gora Gora Vasevya Bhavai Sanchintya Tasha Shadashim Tanam Aparete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpa Taravo Druma Bhumis Chintamani Ganam Mayitoyam Amritam Kata Ganam Natyam Ganamam Bapi Bangshi Priyasaki Chidanandam Jyoti Param Apitad Asvanyam Apicha Sayatrat Chirad Bishavati Sarbribhyasya Sumahan Nimeshad Yakyo Vavrajati Nahi Yatrapi Samaya Vaje Shweta Dvipam Tamaham Iha Golokamityam Vidantaste Shantashati Virala Charakatipaye Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. This sound vibration is purifying. Traditionally, at events like this, some mantras are chanted, as we just did, for purification. And even if you don't understand the meaning of all the words, it's purifying nonetheless. The text is, these are statements by Lord Brahma made after what Bhaktisiddhanta translates as his mature realization of the absolute truth. He became well acquainted with the absolute truth. He spoke it in these verses. The absolute truth in a Vedic conception means the source of everything. There's a conventional sense of truth. It means the opposite of lying. Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's one kind of truth, as opposed to a lie. The Vedic conception of truth is different. It's that from which everything comes. The source. The ultimate source of all things that exist, the cause of all causes, just as the first line, Sarva Karana Karanam. The Karana of all Karanas, the cause of all causes. That's the absolute truth. There's causes that bring about effects. And often the effects are the cause of a next effect, and downstream more effects and more effects. And that's for example, it's the whole of Sankhya philosophy. The transformations of subtle matter, starting with Akash, and Akash, when becomes transformed, becomes the next grosser level of fire and water and ether and sky and so forth. So the original cause is all spiritual, and that all spiritual entity has form and personality, and that's what's within those nice verses. There's many, many, many things within those nice verses. describing the whole of the spiritual and the material realm. That's what we just chanted. And Krishna is that Govindam Adi Purusham, the refrain. He's the original Purusha, the original person, the supreme person. Tamaham bhajami. I engage in his worship. I worship him. I worship the primeval Lord who, and then all these other things and other things and other things come from the primeval Lord, the source of everything. And ultimately, that source of everything is the supreme person. So the mantras are chanted to invoke auspiciousness by the presence of the Supreme Lord through sound. And in fact, our whole Vedic process is based upon sound. For example, these verses that we just recited, they're the result of Lord Brahma chanting mantra. According to the description in several places within the Vedic texts, in the very, very, very beginning of creation, there's the unmanifest state, the totality of everything, all living entities, matter and spirit, and the controller of both. They're consolidated in one entity, and then by the Lord's time energy, kala, things start to differentiate out and manifest and unfold. And as they unfold, one of the things that unfolds is universes. One of the verses that we chanted. The Mahavishnu is reclining on the causal ocean, is in the spiritual realm, and from his exhalation from the pores of his body, unlimited universes come streaming from the pores of his body. It's a nice picture of creation. And then Mahavishnu expands within each universe as another Vishnu form, Garbhodakshay Vishnu. And from that Garbhodakshay Vishnu, one from his navel comes this fantastic story. Comes a lotus flower. And on top of the lotus stem, the flower manifests the first-born living being, Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma is superlatively intelligent. It's described in the Vedas. The post of Brahma is occupied by one person who for 1,000 lifetimes has perfectly, flawlessly executed their duties in a previous cycle of the ages of mankind. Perfect, flawless execution for so many lifetimes. And that very qualified person becomes eligible to occupy the post. The post of Brahma. And when he begins, he appears, there's nothing. Or there's darkness in all directions. There's no sun, there's no moon, there's no planets, there's nothing. It's just the lotus stem and himself. But he's very intelligent. He understands I'm seated on a lotus, and the lotus has a stem. So if I climb down the stem, I can find out where I came from. Very intuitive. So he starts climbing down and 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 down. He can't find an end to the stem. And then he hears a sound. Ta-pa. 3 times. Ta-pa. And he's so intelligent, he knows what that means. I have to climb back up the stem and do tapa, do tapasya. And his tapasya, guess what his tapasya is? He hears this mantra, sound, and he repeats the mantra. That was his tapa. With darkness in all directions. You can't turn on the flashlight or the light switch, nothing. No lamp. Nothing. Darkness. And he's chanting in the darkness his mantra. And then in course of time he hears a second mantra. And our Gayatri mantras are these two mantras that Brahma received. And he chants the two mantras. And then he becomes well acquainted with the ocean of truth, which means it's already within him, but it's covered, and as within us. The ocean of truth is within us, but it's covered. And it's uncovered and awakened and made manifest through mantra, through sound. So that's what we're doing here. We're giving formal initiation, diksha, to two devotees, amongst many devotees who are here, who are already initiated in the process of chanting of the holy name. And the process of initiation is very simple in principle. It's two things. It's submission and acceptance. Two things. Submission unto the source of everything, Krishna. And the submission is done through the agency of the representative of Krishna, or the link in the chain of disciplic succession. But the submission is unto Krishna and the acceptance is by Krishna. The formality is, it's done on behalf of Krishna by the representative of Krishna. Therefore, the representative, or the nimitta, the instrument of Krishna, is as good as Krishna. That's a principle, a Vedic principle. To represent the source of everything, that's awesome. It's a big responsibility. But in principle, that's what's happening right now. So there's submission unto Krishna and acceptance by Krishna in a formality through the medium of sound and also from the heart, because the third form of the Supreme Lord that manifests the universes, and then within each universe, that third form manifests within the heart of every living entity, and for that matter, within every atom. That's a lot of super souls. That's because there's a lot of atoms. How many atoms are there? Who can count them? However many, that's how many. Unlimited manifestations of super soul. So there's that as a feature of the personality of God, the super soul, and the submission and acceptance is through the super soul or the super soul's manifest representative, the spiritual master. There's several verses within our scriptures that, from my experience, whenever I participated in initiation ceremonies or heard recordings of Prabhupada speaking at initiation ceremonies, he invariably mentioned two verses, which I'm also going to mention. Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttama Shabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upashamashrayam, which means Tasmat means therefore, so something preceding. There's some discussion about making a formal connection with the Supreme. Therefore means the procedure for that formal connection with the Supreme. Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta. Guru, we know the meaning. Prapadyeta means taking shelter. Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta. And who is that person who is eligible? Very simple. Very simple. Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. Jigyasu means inquisitive. I want to know. You know, like children, they're inquisitive. What's this? What's that? I want to know. The inquisitive nature about things material may evolve to the spiritual. And that's the Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. I've heard Prabhupada speak on this so many times, I'll just repeat what he says. There are these two words, Shreyas and Preyas. Children, they like the Preyas. Like short term, they like to play. Nothing wrong. Children like to play. Look at these children. They're happy sitting there playing quietly for the most part. Preya. It even sounds like playa. Preya. Then there's Shreya. And that's when at some point, mommy and daddy say, okay, time to go to school. I want to play. I don't want to go to school. But school is fun. And not only that, it prepares you for the later stages of your life. Shreya. Long-term benefit, short-term benefit. And then there's Shreya Uttama, the topmost ultimate benefit. And those that are inquisitive, Jigasu, Shreya Uttama, that person is a candidate for taking shelter of Guru, and therefore the connection with the Supreme. Tasmat Guru Prapajeta, Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. Then the second half of the verse, okay, that's nice. Who's the qualified person unto whom I may consider a candidate to take shelter of? Shabde parecha nishnatam brahmani upashamashrayam. Shabde, we know the meaning. Shabda, sound. Shabde pare. They've heard transcendental sound. Pare, para, transcendental. Shabde pare. Not only they've heard nishnatam, they're fixed. Shabde pare. The Manduka Upanishad, the Upanishadic language is complex. It's so terse. You have to have a teacher to teach you how to unpack the terse words. That's what I've heard Prabhupada speak it so many times, so I'm doing the same with you. Shabde Pareshanish Natam Brahmani, Brahman, the absolute truth. Brahmani, Upa Samashrayam. Upa means near. Upa Samashrayam, complete shelter. They've taken complete shelter of the personality of Godhead by understanding, through sound, understanding the message of the Vedas. The Vedas point in the direction of the source, and they've taken shelter. Upasamashrayam. That's the qualified person who can act as the deliverer of Krishna, or deliverer of transcendental life. And that's what initiation is. It's the formality of all of those things. And so that's the submission, and then from Krishna's side, the acceptance. Tad vijnanartam sugarum eva abhigachet. This is another verse. Samatpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Abhigachet. I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, but I've heard Prabhupada say it so many times. There's something about the grammar of abhigachet which implies it's a must. It's imperative. There's no wiggle room. It's not maybe, let me think about it. Sometime later, maybe. But abhigachet is imperative. What's imperative? Tasmat, Grupapajicha, Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. Same principle. Tad vijnanartam, Sagurum eva abhigachet. So, one who wants to know Tad, the absolute truth, Tad vijnanartam, one who wants to get realization and transcendental knowledge of Tat, the absolute truth, Tad vijnanartam, Sagurum eva abhigachet. You need shelter of the spiritual master. And then qualification of the inquiring person, Samatpani. Samatpani, very simple. Firewood in hand. Many of you know the pastime. Krishna, the supreme person who doesn't need any teacher, accepted a teacher to show by example. Sandipani Muni became his teacher. And when he went to the school of Sandipani Muni, one of the things he did, although he was the supreme person, the son of a Kshatriya, so a prince, in the making of like the stature of a king, and his service was go gather firewood in the forest, because they're going to have a yagya, and they have yagya have firewood, and so go gather the firewood for the teacher. So he and his dear friend Sandipani Muni had a number of students in his school, and Sudama Brahman, very, very qualified young man, Krishna's dear friend, they went to the forest to summit Pani, gather firewood. Every day. Every day. Just like our ashrams. It's one of the recommended things for those who are taking part in ashram life. Do some simple service. I mean, it's humbling. And becoming humble is good. Suppose you're not humble. Become humble. Just little personal. The first month that I spent living in a Hare Krishna temple, after having graduated, heading for medical school, the service they gave me was washing pots for a month. And I was thinking, don't they know that, washing pots, I can do this and I can do that. And I didn't say it, my mind was saying it. And it's in short, just little details, but at the end of that month, I just gave my heart to that simple activity of making Krishna's pots clean. Because it wasn't me, it's Krishna's pots. I was told, Prabhupada said, when you cleanse the pots, you're cleansing your heart. And my smart aleck college kid mind said, oh yeah, then why don't you stand next to me and help me? I didn't say it. Smart aleck kids can think thoughts like that. But I gave up that thought. I said, no, this is meant for purification. It's to cleanse my heart. And something happened in the course of 1 month, and breaking rocks in a rock pile, or washing Krishna's pots, doing menial service, it helped to soften my heart and help me understand my real position is not something up there, it's just to be the menial servant of. Trinadapi sunichena. Taror eva sahishnana, just like the scripture says, just like Lord Chaitanya teaches us. And then when your heart is soft and humble, then you can receive. We'll say it the other way. If your heart is hard and blocked, you can't receive. You can fake it. You can do something cosmetic, but it doesn't go in. But if you're humble, then it goes in. The potential, at least. So that's our bhakti life. Samat Pani, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Similar. Shrotriyam, the spiritual master, is one who has heard, and the student is one who hears from the one who has heard. Disciplic succession. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Nishta means firm, faith, convinced, fixed. Brahman, fixed in Brahman. And so these two devotees, they're being recognized by the authorities of the temple that they're reasonably on their way of being fixed. And I meant to ask Lal Gopal, you know it's something that I like to do, is say something about each of the persons. I didn't tell, you've seen me do this, right? So I caught you by surprise. So someone needs to say something about each of these two devotees. And so you can do both of them or one of them or whatever you like. Something, because many of you who are present, this is a new experience for you, like Therefore, I'm taking time to explain this, connect with that, connect with the other thing. And many of you know these two individuals. Some of you may not know these two individuals. I think it's good for everyone to know something about them because they're making an important step. The step is making the link with Krishna formalized. Submission and acceptance formalized by the Diksha process. So you figured out what you want to do with what I meant to send you a message, but you know how it is. I got busy.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Vedana Prabhu, I've been in touch for past maybe 7 years, I think. His family has been great help to the temple. And the special thing about Vedana Prabhu is that when I was holding the presidency, serving as a president, temple president, I always look after him he's a good critic, finds each and every mistake that I do, and always comes and tells Prabhu, this is what it is. I mean, it was very helpful for me to do the service because he was always monitoring me and telling me, this is not right, that is not right. So I really liked and appreciated and took it as a very positive thing. He was very frank and straightforward in conveying anything that he has in his heart.
That's very valuable.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, I'm just going to comment. To be a subordinate position and give genuine feedback, it's not easy on the person who's hearing it, what to speak of the person who's speaking it. I have some people like that in my life, and I really value that service. And when they speak, I know where it's coming from. It's not fault finding, not criticizing. It's, service to Krishna and how to make service to Krishna perfect. Not nice, but perfect. I mean, I'm commenting on his comment. It's nice service. And do it in a humble and service mood. Fantastic. Kijai.
Second thing is about, I asked him if he's interested in getting initiated, and he was all for it. But then he didn't get his, we need to have a certificate to get initiated. That is called ISKCON Disciple Course Certification. He was doing under Ramacharya Prabhu's lead, but then that's what's going to take another 2 more weeks to finish. But then I gave him an option. He can do it online. Within a day or 2, somehow he managed to get it done. And that shows his determination and real interest to wanting to get initiated by Maharaj in this very visit. He doesn't want to postpone it. That shows how much he's serious in Krishna consciousness. I was very impressed on that one. Thank you. And besides that, he does a lot of other services also. He is our CPO, Child Protection Officer for St. Louis, and he brings a lot of fund, works with Vaidarbi Mataji and coordinate with bringing a lot of fund to the temple. Wonderful service. Thank you so much. And thanks for taking up Krishna consciousness seriously. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so let's do one at a time. You know what's next? There's the Vyasa-san. You pay obeisances before Prabhupada's Vyasa-san. Then come over here. Come forward. There's a lot of guests here this evening. Thank you all for coming. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to take some vows. those of you that are not participated in this, there are 2 vows that Srila Prabhupada requested us to make when we received initiation from him, and I've added a 3rd one. Okay, so the 3 vows. The first is, on your beads, you'll chant a minimum of how many rounds of the Hare Krishna mantra every day? Okay. I heard. And the 4 rules that you'll follow, they need to hear too. 4 rules that you'll follow. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Intoxication.
Uh,
We did a training this morning.
During one initiation, the devotee being initiated by Prabhupada was so nervous, he just like froze. And Prabhupada said, "Oh, that's the one you're attached to?" I said, "No, Prabhupada, I'm just so nervous." Okay. And then the additional vow for the balance of your life, as best as you can, you try, carefully follow Srila Prabhupada's teachings. Yes or no? Yes, okay. Okay. Your initiated name is Patita Pavana Das.
Patita Pavana Prabhu ki jai! Haribo!
That's the name of Lord Chaitanya. Patita means fallen, and Pavana means one who purifies even the fallen. Lord Chaitanya, came to deliver all, including the most fallen, Jaghai, Madhai, and you name it, everybody. So Patita Pavana, Gaura Hari. Patita Pavana Das. Das. Okay.
Hare Krishna, please come. Jai! The second wonderful, beautiful devotee that we have in our congregation, Maharaj asked me to speak, I have to speak. I've been authorized to speak.
You can't speak too much, though. 'Cause I know how much you have affection for him. We could be here all day. So succinct.
I know Ashok Prabhu for past maybe 10 or 12 years now, since we got connected through Bal Vihar, and he pulled me into Bal Vihar and engaged me in the service over there. That's how we got connected. And I don't know where to start, but I will keep it simple. But even both of the personalities here, I forgot to tell one thing, both of the personality are perfectionist. They want to see everything to be perfectly correct. They would not compromise anything for that matter. And Ashok Prabhu especially well known in St. Louis for his great heart of many services. He engaged in many organizations here in St. Louis, is well known here. But the great thing is that is humility. Is very humble person, and he goes to the point of doing any services for that matter. And for Ashok Prabhu to be sitting here on his side, Draupadi Mataji is a great support. I really want to sincerely thank her for encouraging and supporting Ashok Prabhu on this. I really don't know, a lot can be spoken, but I've been not sure what to speak about him. He's generous in many ways. In short, he's generous in his heart, in his charity, in his service, everything for that matter. Yes, I have a special soft corner for him. And he's not only, now he's teaching in Bal Vihar adult Bhagavad Gita class. He's a teacher over here in our school, Sunday school here for the youth group. And yeah, I just don't know. I should have been prepared very well to speak about this, both two wonderful devotees here. But thank you very much for taking up Krishna consciousness seriously. And thank you. Hare Krishna. That's all.
Okay. A humble man is now embarrassed hearing all these things.
one thing he was telling, I remember while he's walking, I can tell, is that I was just asking him a few months back about his initiation, and he was telling, I'm ready. There's no need for me to delay any further, because I don't know whether I'll, how life goes. So that's another example of, we may be thinking that we have enough time to get initiated. But here's an example where he's telling, no, we don't know when the time is going to come. I don't want to delay any further. I want to get initiated sooner when Maharaj is here this time. So that's a great inspiration for many people who are thinking about initiation, whether to take now or after 10 years. So these are the role models.
Who knows? Life is full of surprises. Some of them are pleasant and some are unpleasant. Okay. Ashok is a face and a personality that I recognize from way back. He's as old as this temple is. He's that old. The strong pillar of this temple. That's my regard for Ashok. So let's see. Three vows. 1. On your beads, you'll chant how many rounds minimum every day for the rest of your life? 16. That was quick. And the 4 rules that you'll follow? Same one. Ah, that one. Okay. And you'll continue, as you've been doing, to carefully make best effort to carefully follow Prabhupada's teachings the rest of your life. Yes. Initiated name, Atulananda Das.
Atulananda Das Prabhu ki jai.
We all know the meaning of Ananda. It's pleasure or transcendental bliss. And Atula means unsurpassed. That's the name of Krishna. And those who are in connection with Krishna, they're experiencing pleasure that knows no limit. Limitless pleasure, or Ananda. Das. So now let us proceed with the yagya.
We can do a 2 minutes kirtan until we get the initial thing.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Thank you. Now we'll begin the Homa. Please repeat after me, you both. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Romapada Swami Iti Namine Swaha Swaha Swaha
Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshudamilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Swaha 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 Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Svaha 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 Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati iti namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayataya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupa Nuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine Swaha 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 Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambarasam Bodhe Padambo Jayate Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchit Anandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupa Nuga Varayate Swaha 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 Gaura Virbhava Bhumistvam Nirdeshta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhama Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Swaha 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 Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Swaha 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 Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Swaha 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 He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Swaha 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 Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Mat Sarvasvapadam Bhojo Radha Madana Mohano Swaha 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 Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanasto Srimad Radha Shri Govinda Deva Prishtalibhi Sevyamano Smarami Swaha 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 Shriman Rasa Rasarambhi Vangshivata Tatastataha Karshan Venuswanayar Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Swaha 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 Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha 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 Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Swaha 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Swaha. Purnahoti means the final mantra, so you have to stand with the banana. And at the very end, you gently place the banana in the fire. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Swaha Swaha Swaha